Today, going over to the culture part of the podcast, we have Elon and NPR saying that the number one challenge is the First Amendment. Now, this also comes a couple of days after NPR was revealed to have pretty much zero diversity in their company. In terms of political diversity, they have pretty much no one in the middle or right of the political aisle, which, again, if you watch NPR or ever tuned in for NPR in the past couple of decades, you're probably thinking, well, yeah, obviously, well, that shouldn't be much of a shock. Now, Elon on X said, let's see here, quote, "This keeps getting crazier. The head of NPR hates the Constitution of the USA." And this is a retweet from Chris Rufo, and he says, before this quick little video, exclusive, Catherine Mayer says the number one challenge in her fight against disinformation is the First Amendment in the United States, which makes it tricky to censor bad information. And it went viral, to say the least. It got 27.4 million views, and I'm not sure why. There's a little bit of technical difficulties in terms of she kind of sounded like a speak and spell when I was trying to play this earlier today. So we'll see. She may just, granted, I think she has the personality of a robot. Granted, I don't have much ground to stand on. Somebody say that about me myself. But let's see how she sounds here. Oh. Unless it freezes.
That we see
Oh, there we go.
is the number one challenge here that we see, and is of course the First Amendment in the United States is a fairly robust protection of rights, and that is a protection of rights both for platforms, which I actually think is very important, that platforms have those rights to be able to regulate what kind of content they want on their sites. But it also means that it is a little bit tricky to really address some of the real challenges of where does bad information come from, and sort of the influence peddlers who have made a real market economy.
So again, maybe it's just a coincidence that she sounds like a robot, or we're having technical issues. I mean, presumably a robot would have more intellect than her. That's not saying much, but still. Again, it went viral. It got 27.5 million views when retweeted by Elon, and 163,000 likes, which is quite a few to say at least, and a reminder to take the 1/1000th of a second if you can like this video. Or downvote it if you don't like it, and leave a comment, tell me why. Now, some of the top comments here come from, what is this, Sassafras 84. She says, quote, "She's a liberal. They hate everything to do with the Constitution unless it furthers their agenda. Otherwise, rules for thee, not for me. Shall not be infringed comes to mind with our Constitution." And she has a little, not an infographic, but a little picture that says, "Liberalism is a religion of self-hatred. It teaches white people to hate their race, boys to hate their sex, women to hate their femininity, Americans to hate their country, Westerners to hate their country, history. What a loathsome, poisonous thing it is," unquote. That got 1.4 thousand likes. You also have General Mike Flynn saying, quote, "Elon Musk, NPR is largely a taxpayer-funded media outlook and receives millions of U.S. tax dollars." That's not great. That got 2.7 thousand likes, and yes, they get lots of money. You also have, let's see here. You have the rabbit hole, and it says, "Dear NPR," it's a cliche juxtaposition of Jim from The Office with a little picture, before and after the whiteboard. And the first part says, quote, "If you support the side that censors free speech and facts, you are not woke or progressive, you are a tyrant," unquote, getting 3.5 thousand likes, which this also kind of is reminiscent of the pandemic, in which you had many people being censored, even doctors, when they were talking about the whole topic of the virus, and really asked, what is disinformation? Who's the arbiter of truth? And does anyone with a modicum of intelligence trust the government to be the one who is the arbiter of truth? Remember, they told you not to go out and buy masks. Then they did tell you to go out and get masks. And Fauci then later admitted, oh yeah, at the beginning we told people not to get masks because we needed the first responders and everyone else to get them first. So they admitted lying multiple times. Now let's scroll down a little bit more. You have Chris Rufo saying, quote, "Get ready, my team is currently transcribing and reviewing more video. The next shoe will drop tomorrow," getting 1.5 thousand likes. You also have X Van Fleet saying, quote, "Defund and dismantle NPR," getting 1.2 thousand likes. Tim Young also says defund NPR, getting 2.2 thousand likes. Yeah, Trump Army simply has Trump saying this is the final bag, getting 736 likes. Never Got Media TM says, quote, defund NPR, and is an acronym joke or accurate fact, depending on your opinion, perhaps. It says NPR stands for National Propaganda Radio, getting 265 likes. Let's see. Western Lensman says, quote, to Mayor, the truth gets in the way of, quote, getting things done. Defund NPR. Got 709 likes. Let's see. Never Got Media TM also says, quote, free speech is dangerous unless the rules control it. Gets 171 likes. E. Miles Chong chimes in saying, quote, she wants to repeal the First Amendment because it gets in the way of what she wants to accomplish. Reading from the same playbook as some other authoritarians, it seems, unquote, getting 805 likes. So pretty much 100% agreement in regard to the sentiment or the feedback. And it'll be interesting to see what is the long-term ramifications. Do people actually start to wake up to the fact that censorship is bad? Perhaps Americans will start to read books like 1984 and Animal Farm by George Orwell, which, spoiler alert, they're not happy books. And even more of a kind of a sad note is when you read the books and realize some things about modern society are worse than the dystopian nightmare that George Orwell had created all those years ago. Definitely a friendly reminder to go check those books out because, yeah, it's basically a roadmap to modern society. But will things get better? Hopefully more and more people start to realize the importance of the amendments. But as I always say, or sometimes say, time shall tell. Thank you, everyone, for taking the time to tune in. Again, we're trying to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of the month, so if you could click that button, I would greatly appreciate it. Also, leaving a thumbs up, thumbs down, or comment is a great way to give me some additional feedback, letting me know how I can make the show better and better. Lastly, don't forget to take the time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe, fight the good fight,